What's going on, everybody? This is the Planet Earth here. I'm going to tell you everything that could cause an anxiety disorder, or an anxiety attack, or panic attack. I've been researching for the last 7 months, and I finally wanted to make this video. Congratulations, guys. We're going to find out every single cause for anxiety and panic attacks. Unfortunately, some of them are emotional causes that cannot be fixed, and there's some physical elements to panic attacks that cannot be fixed. I apologize, but some of these are genetic factors and there is nothing we can do about it. But I wanted to show you something here. I wanted to show you why panic attacks and anxiety attacks happen. Mine is biological, so I can't control them when they do happen. But I'm going to tell you physical reasons as to why you may be having panic attacks. These are the physical reasons why. Okay. I'm going to type them into Google, and as I type them into Google, reverse, I'm going to type everything that can cause an anxiety attack. So, instead of doing that, let me just do a text document. Okay, so, I'm going to go ahead and format font. I'll make it bigger. Not as big enough. And then we're going to word wrap. Okay. Alright, so this is the things that can cause panic attacks. Are you ready? Here we go. Low salt equals panic attacks. Low potassium equals, well, death, but kind of low potassium. Example 3.0 in blood tests or lower. Blood pressure problems and kidney problems and panic attacks or heart rhythm irregularities, palpitations galore, and PVCs and PACs. Now, another thing that can cause low magnesium. That is very important if you don't have enough magnesium. And that is a scientific evidence proven that low magnesium, low iron will definitely cause problems. A low iron, vitamin D, actually. If you don't get enough sunshine, you're having panic attacks. Let me tell you something. There is a video here on YouTube that I will go ahead and search in. I will type in getting stung by bullet ants. Let me just give you an example. Okay, I'm gonna pause
Hello.
this. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and skip it. These guys here, this tribe here. I'm just taking a picture from Hamish and Andy. This tribe here, right here, they can live very long lives. The reason they don't have panic attacks and the reason they don't worry is because they don't live in a civilized civilization. They don't live in civilized civilization. They don't live in a civilized civilization. They don't live in it. The problems with the human beings, aka me and millions of other people, is that we live in a map of Detroit. We live in a society with possibles. Let me give you an example here. Alright, okay. So I'll just give you an example of a random address. Let me give you an example of a random address. You look at Detroit, Michigan, and you look at the streets, and you see that they're all torn up. And this is just a random place that I am looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and just look around. You see that there's trees, and you know, the sidewalks, they look kind of run down. And then you go to a place like Irvine, California. Irvine, California. And you go to a place like Irvine, and when it finishes loading here, you go to a place like right here. If I give an example, Alton Parkway, which is the Blizzard headquarters on this street, and you look at here and you see that the roadways are taken good care of, and the quality of life is better in Irvine than it would be in Detroit, Michigan. And the reason for this is because, one, Irvine, California has higher monetary gains. Monetary gains. How monetary gains is money, purchasing power, money. It's all about the cash. It's all about this. Right here, this picture right here will sum it all up. You got hundreds, twenties, tens, fives, ones, dimes, nickels, quarters, pennies. The reason for this is because money makes the world go round, supposedly. Am I correct or am I not correct? This lake here, for example, is I've sat with my ex-girlfriend at this waterfront up here. Rich people, like people that live in Irvine, California, they get to live a nice life, while people in Detroit live a miserable life and die early because of lack of medical care, lack of happiness. Happiness is very, very scarce in a civilized society. And the reason civilized society is scarce is because civilized society is not the way the humans should be living, technically. If you want to see what the humanization wants to live, we were supposed to live basic needs. Basic needs. If you look up a channel called Old Technology, if you look at old technology, you'll look up this channel called Primitive Technology, and you will see this guy make actual videos. He actually makes good YouTube videos. It's called Primitive Technology. If you watch his videos, you will see how man we're supposed to live. Basic food, shelter, and mating, and that's pretty much it. He doesn't show mating in this video per se, but in general, the primitive lifestyle is the easiest on the human mind and soul. It is very easy on the human brain because it is basic. Basic is what the humans were meant for be. We were not supposed to live with cars, money. We were not supposed to live with cars and money and stuff like that. And because we live in a society where we are by the dollar sign, we live by the dollar sign. Because we live by the dollar sign, we live by this cash, and because we live by this paper, the brain cannot comprehend this, and this is the reason why anxiety happens. The reason why we suffer, the reason why is because of financial issues. Financial, I don't know how to spell that. Issues. We live by financial issues. Financial issues, bankruptcy, foreclosures, just like this thing says right here. And it's because of this. There's a good one right here. Actually, I like this one. Debt, bill, debt, debt. That's kind of how it is. Stress. Stress causes what? Stress causes heart attacks. Heart attacks. Okay, stress causes heart attack. The stress itself can be a pot, raise your blood pressure. It's not good for your body to be exposed to stress hormones. Studies have linked stress to changes in the way blood clots, which makes a heart more likely. So, what does that mean when you stress the hell out? Stress style anxiety. Anxiety disorder. Anxiety disorder from financial stress. Financial stress causes anxiety. It is true, but I think that's what it is. Causes anxiety. Stress can cause anxiety. Financial stress, living situations, being abused, example. Being abused. Give an example of being abused mentally, physically, or sexually could give you anxiety because it is not normal for a human being to go through such trauma and traumatic exposures. And because trauma and traumatic exposures do not coexist, that is the reason why the human body cannot physically take it. The human body was meant for happiness and to be loved, and that's the reason why the species are very violent. It is because we cannot relax in society. um, and the reason is because the human brain is not meant for all of this, what's called, um, stress. The human brain, the human body is not meant for stress. We are meant for a peaceful relaxation, earth type stuff. Our bodies are not meant for the abuse that we go through every day. The physical abuse, the chemicals in food. They're not meant for chemicals in food. Um, Example, we're not meant to be eating this stuff. I know it's good stuff. I know we love it. I know we love like burgers and stuff like that. But we are not meant for it. We are not meant to eat and ingest foods with chemicals. We are meant to eat foods from the earth. In other words, like farming, picture of Ohio farming, blah 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 blah. Right? Okay. So here's a random picture of Ohio. Look at this farmhouse right here. Boom. We got a farmhouse in Ohio, and I've seen. Wait a second. I've seen that house before. Where is that at? I've seen that house before. Where have I seen that? Lockport, Ohio. Have I seen that house? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have seen that before. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have seen that before. I have seen that house before. I knew it was underneath Columbus. I was wondering why I've seen it before, but yes, I have seen that house before because I've been through there before on Route 104. I was wondering why I saw that before. It's a cemetery, but yes, I have seen that before. Now that is funny, but I have actually seen that one before. Now, um, now let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The human body cannot take the stress of everyday life, caffeine, stimulants. We're not meant for caffeine stimulations. Not meant. A good example, if you type this in, is not caffeine stimulation of cortisol secretion across the waking hours. Now, this is interesting. Let's read this. Caffeine stimulation of cortisol secretion across the waking hours in relation to caffeine intake levels. Caffeine increases cortisol secretion in people at rest or undergoing mental stress. It is not known whether tolerance develops in the response with daily intake of caffeine in the diet. We therefore tested the cortisol response to caffeine challenge after controlled levels of caffeine intake. This is an example of why the human beings are a violent species. Having non-healthy organic foods, I'm going to say not organic because I don't want to sound like a vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm just a regular human. But when it comes to cars and money, this is the stress. We are divided by a society where society says, hey, you need to make money. Society says you need to have a job, and society says you need to pay taxes. And unfortunately, this is the truth. This is the only way that we can live on this planet. Unfortunately, we are governed by governments who do not care about us. They care about monetary gains, monetary values. I'm not sure of their intentions, and I don't really want to know. It's better off not knowing. You ever heard the saying, out of sight, out of mind? Keep it that way. That's what I always say. Now, Irvine, example, is a stressful place. Even though it is looking beautiful and it looks like a calm place to be, wrong. It is actually a very stressful place to live. And the reason it is a very stressful place to live is because that Irvine, California, is a stressful place to live because you have to make serious money to even think about living in the Irvine, California, And if you want to live in Laguna Hills or Laguna Niguel, California, good luck. If you want to live in Compton, you can. It's still expensive to live in Compton, even with Compton, Southgate, Linwood, Downey. They got the first McDonald's in Downey, California, by the way. Just letting you guys know that. I used to live in Marina Del Rey. I was very stressed out all the time. And it wasn't because of financial problems, but it was because of what I had to do to maintain my residency there. My residency there was very limited. I used to live in Marina Del Rey. And I could show you where I lived exactly, but I don't think that's a good idea because I don't want you guys going over there. Um, but I did used to live on a boat. I used to live in Basin D. In Marina Del Rey. There is a song about Marina Del Rey. Why don't you look it up when you're not finished watching this video? Now, the thing is I'm trying to get at is I used to live at the end of the 10 freeway. For example, you know what's weird about my life? Is my 10 freeway goes right through San Antonio, Texas, and it continues on to Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida. And guess what? I have a girlfriend who lives in the state of Florida. Now, guess what? 75, right? See Dayton, 75? Guess where that ends at? Guess where 75 ends at? Look where it ends. She lives in Miami, Florida. Guess what? 75 ends in Miami, Florida. What is the chance that she lives there? And 75 goes straight through Dayton and is only about 20 miles from me. Now, what is the chance of 75 going straight to ending in Miami, Florida? What is the chance that the 10 freeway... What is my chances of the 10 freeway ending in Santa Monica, California and going into the Pacific Coast Highway? Some things just don't add up. Some things don't add up. But the goal of this video is to tell you that the anxiety that we have and the panic attacks is because our body is overstimulated by everything with computer screens. Our computers, even though I kind of like it, our computer screens, our cellular devices, our way of fast thinking. We are not in a small town. If we were all in a small town, we probably wouldn't panic as much. We have the hunking. We have the drama. We have shootings. We have all these bad things that happen. We have killers out there that just love to destroy other humans. I don't know why, but it's just that way. And because it's that way, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's because of a lot of things. But when you add everything up and you add everything up to society and the way it works, it's increased tenfold It's not because of your weight. It's not because of weight. It's because of society being so stressful. We have to worry about monetary gains. We have to worry about going to work every day instead of hunting for animals to eat. We have to worry about diseases, about contracting diseases. We have the media who stresses us out by exposing very negative things, which causes the mind to release stress hormones, causing premature death. When I say premature death, I mean 70 years old. If we ate healthy, if we all ate healthy, if we ate non today's food, I'll put today's food, and we ate from the 1800s, we might actually live longer. The problem is nobody's going to change their way. I'm not changing my way. But that's what the problem is. And the only way that we could technically go back to eating healthy, and we probably would go on a famine, but some of us would survive. But the problem is, unfortunately, if we had a major solar storm that destroyed everything electronic, it would have to be a major one, by the way. It'd have to be probably a class 5. It would be a class 5 solar storm. And class 5 solar flare. Flare, not storm, sorry. A solar flare class 5 would be pretty bad. Yep. X-class solar flare. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so the major solar storm that destroyed everything electronic, we would have less panic attacks. Also, benzodiazepines are a great medication to cause the brain to just slow the roll. In other words, instead of the brain overstimulating, that's what is happening when we're having panic attacks. Our brain is being overstimulated by itself because of too much information overload constantly. You have TV, you have radio on, you have electricity, you got buzzing, you got lights bothering you all the time. It's not. You got other people calling, phones, telephones ringing. You have all this noise that the human brain is not meant for. It's not. We are not meant to have all this technology, even though we do. We're not meant to have this advanced technology that we do have. We're not advanced. We are supposed to be communicating with each other. We're not meant for what we go through now. This is not what we're meant for. The human species is meant for peace, tranquility, and basic needs. And because we've overstimulated, I've come to the conclusion that I can never get better because of the way society is. And I can try to get better, yes, of course. But the problem is, I would have to pretty much go into the middle of the woods, hunt, eat, sleep, watch movies, have very basic needs, and just that's it. Like I would have to just become become off the grid. You would have to literally become off the grid to stop your anxiety attacks, and they might actually get worse because you fear of not having any electronics could be actually a really bad thing. And I think that would actually cause us to get worse. So, in other words, the way we are, how we are raised, it's amazing that some humans, though, in some cases, can go through so much trauma. Like, I'll give you an example. All the stuff that happens in the Middle East, right? Okay, like you live in that kind of country, but you never have panic attacks. But you're always getting exploded on, you know? Stuff's always happening in your country, and you don't have panic attacks. And you might get traumatic experiences, but you never really have panic attacks. So it is amazing that people that have the most technology tend to have the most anxiety. And I think it's just because of the way society is. If we were a very peaceful, loving society, I don't think we would be violent species. I think that if we all came together somehow, some way in the future, if we all came and no crime policy, If there was just no crime, no nasty things, nothing ever happened to humans, nothing negative ever happened to humans when it comes to other humans doing things. If there wasn't a need for greed and a need for poverty, and there was no poverty and there was no need for greed, and there was a no money thing and there was nothing to do with money to begin with, we wouldn't be like we are. But the humans tend to be violent only because they fear the unknown. And I think that is why we have panic attacks and anxiety attacks. I think that's why we suffer so much. It is because we fear the unknown. I know I do. I fear the unknown. Would it ever cause me to commit crimes? No. But why do people commit crimes? Why is there so much suffering on this planet? Why? I don't get it. I don't get why there's so much suffering on this planet. It shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. But it is. There's a lot of suffering on this planet. Lots and lots and lots and lots of misery. People taking advantage of people. People stealing. People robbing. People killing people. People sexually molesting people. And I don't get it. It's disgusting. People die every fucking day. People die prematurely because of car accidents, bus accidents, plane accidents, boat accidents, accidents in the woods, getting eaten by bears. That's normal though. But if we came together as a society, if we just somehow broke all the barriers, we could stop all this war and hatred. But we'd have to come together, and it's not possible because there's always somebody that has selfish intentions. There's always somebody out there with a sick mind, and it's not possible just stop it. It's not possible to create a society where people can be happy, people can be joyful while having technology. We should be able to wake up in the morning and say, "Oh my God, it's a beautiful day. Let me go outside. I don't have to worry about getting stabbed or robbed or shot or anything negative." But unfortunately, we suffer every day while we go to work, while we watch YouTube videos. And YouTube videos are fine, of course. But when it comes down to the nit and gritty, we are overstimulated. And that's the reason why we suck. That's the reason why we haven't gone to other worlds. We're greedy. We're selfish. We're mean. That's why. It's because we're selfish. We want what we want, what we never give. We get what we want, but we never give out. And that's the reason why the humans are so selfish. We're addicted to these drugs like I am. Physically addicted to benzodiazepines. Millions of other people are addicted to other street drugs. That's the reason why we have so much crime. That's the why people have mental breakdowns. That's the reason why people have mental illness. That's the reason why people hear and see voices they hear voices. It's because they're overstimulated and people are more sensitive than others. Some people are more sensitive to others. That's why people have mood swings. It's because it's not normal. Society has to take a step down. It has to say, okay, we need to stop rioting. We need to stop being racist towards each other as human beings. We have to look at the future. We can't look at the past. We've done so much shit in the past. I'm surprised we haven't been killed by a higher beings or some sort of species that more advanced than us. Say we're scum. We've done so many nasty things to animals. I'm not talking about eating cows. I'm just saying like abusive type of shit. It's so disgusting. The human species are disgusting. I don't understand why we do what we do. I don't understand why the human spirit. That is not the original human spirit. The original human spirit that I know of is probably curiosity. curiosity and creativity. Our human species are creative. Us humans are creative. We are a species that can learn and live with what we have. We can adapt to violent changes in climate. We've lived through the most extreme measures that the earth gave us. And yet, we feel so alone. We have all these gadgets, but we feel so alone. We have all this technology, but we feel so alone. We have all this money, not me, and they feel so alone. When poor people come together, they come together and they're very peaceful and kind, and they care about you more than people with lots of money, because the only thing they think about is with their pockets. They don't think about the human and the human need. But why? Why is it like that? Why are we so uncivilized? The world is overstimulated. We're overstimulated, and we've been overstimulated for the last 200 years. Ever since the invention of the electricity, panic attack rates have gone through the roof. And it's not the electricity's fault. It is not the electricity's fault. It is the overstimulation of having to worry about financial things, having to worry about getting that money, having to worry about filling up that gas tank, having to worry about feeding your children, having to worry about paying for your mortgage on your house, having to worry about paying your taxes, having to worry about paying for your school, having to worry about going to your job or not getting fired, having to worry about somebody you're not getting along with at work. Worry, 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 death. That can't be good for us. It's not good for us. The information overload is going to kill everybody. It is going to kill everybody. It won't kill them today, and it won't kill them tomorrow. But greed, sadness, loneliness, misery will kill the planet of humans, because we have access to weapons of nuclear of proportions, and greediness and wanting to be the most powerful humans is going to cause the earth to shatter into 1,000,000 pieces. It is going to destroy all the humans in the end if we don't change our ways. And I'm not talking about religion, I'm just saying we have to come together as a society. And if we don't come together as a society, the human species will die off, just like we'll be extinct like any other race of some sort. We, as humans, suffer through so much shit because of the way society is, just in general, having to go to work, having to get up, having to do this, having to get out of your bed, having to worry about, am I going to die today? Am I going to get in a car accident? That's what people with anxiety suffer with. They say that people with anxiety disorder tend to be smarter than the average person, and I'm going to guess that's true. People with bipolar tend to be smarter than people without it. People with autism are definitely smarter than people without autism. And it's because of these mental defects in the brain which cause the person to become overstimulated. But what they lack in, they make up in quantities. What a deaf person lacks in can make up in quantities of the best vision you've ever seen, to become with the best peripheral vision and vision you've ever seen in your life. It is amazing what the human body can do. It is amazing that we can even live this long. We can live past 30 years. It's amazing that the human species are amazing, but at the same time, we're so devastating. And it's hard to comprehend why the human brain works the way it does, and why we have violence, and why we fight, and why we kill, and why we do ugly things to other humans, and why we are racist. And I don't get it. I don't get our brain. I don't get it. We used to be cavemen. We used to live in the freaking caves of the earth. And now we live in wooden and brick and stone and mortar and steel and metal, and it's weird. But we used to live in such a basic setup, and we did so much better off. We never had as many fights. It was basic, and now our civilization is overstimulating and is causing people to die of early age because of it, because of the overstimulation of the brain senses. I notice that when I'm in a quiet area in the country, or if I'm at a park and there's nobody else there, I notice that I'm able to just calm down. I notice that if I take my medication and then I go to a park, or if I go driving, I notice that the only stimulation I get is from the wheels, and the road and the noise of the wind going across the windows. I notice that when I am driving and when I'm not looking at other cars and when I'm on a lonely road, I tend to feel the calmest. And I think that's because there's not a lot of stimulation. It's sitting in my room, looking up at the ceiling and looking at the light and the electricity. It actually makes anxiety worse because it's overstimulating the brain saying, okay, so what are you going to do today? What are you going to die of today? What are you going to do? Are you going to go get that modem? Are you going to go do this? Are you going to go do that? Are you going to go talk to your girlfriend? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like, what are you going to do? And so that anxiety builds up. But when you're driving, everything is peaceful. And I miss that. When you're away, when you're in the middle of nowhere. Let me give you an example. When I was in, let me show you something. When I was in, not Yellowstone, lake. I'll just type lake and see what happens. Let me tell you something. I had the most awesome time when I was in peaceful. I think I gotta type in peaceful. I'm trying to look for it. No. Okay, I'll give you an example. This video right here. Even though this isn't really a good example, let me show you. When it's cold outside,
it's the planet Earth here,
and I hear my own voice, and I hear the steps foot of the snow, the only thing I hear is peace. That's the only thing I hear. Is peace. There's no noise. Nobody's bothering you. And when I'm walking out there, I don't have anxiety. My brain's not focused on the anxiety. Like right here, I'll give you an example. I was in a Serenity when I was taking video here. Let me give an example. When I was recording this video at LAX through the little view thing there, at the little park that they have there for dogs, when I was recording this particular video, I was actually at peace. Now, it sounds weird because there's so much noise, but when you're looking at the airplanes and you zone out, your body is only focused on the airplanes. Your body's only focused on the movements. And I'll give you another example here. Now, this one's a weird one. This is how actual rich people live. Like, they get to live right here on the edge, right? So that's actually a sunrise. And this is over here in southwest Los Angeles. And I was at the edge here of the cliffs here. And I actually felt no anxiety. No anxiety at all. There was nothing. Zero, zilch. It was just blank. There was nothing there. It was just pure serenity. And that is because there was a lack of cars. The only thing I heard was the ocean and a few cars, but that wasn't bothering me. It was because I was looking out on the ocean and watching the waves crack on the shoreline here, and that's all I saw. I didn't think about anything. I talked in the video to tell people, but it was very peaceful. It was extremely peaceful. And now, your mind is overstimulated all the time. It's because of all of that drama. I was sitting next to Shane Dawson on that one. Okay, here's another peaceful video I did. Nobody watches it, but there's an old motherfucking video though. This is not from 2013. This video is like 2010 or 2009. I don't remember what year it is. I was in San Antonio, still living in San Antonio. And I saw these old missions right here, and I was thinking, Must have been pretty peaceful before after the war. And thinking about this, and people living in this basic society here, you know, they were doing pretty well. Nobody watches this video. Nobody watches this video. And this one was my oldest video. This was actually my oldest video I ever recorded. That making like fun of a parody of another video. This is an old video. We're talking like maybe 2008 or 7 or 6 or something or 5. Yeah, White and Nerdy. Look at that. Google fucking. Look at that. Google freaking. Look at that. Look at that old website. Look at that old. Look at that old. Look at the old. Look how old it is. Look at that. I recorded this. Where was I when I recorded that? Was I at home? Let me see the reflection. Where did I record that at? I don't remember. Is that the apartment? That's Uncle's lampshade. Oh, okay. That's at home. Is that Uncle's lampshade? Was that Uncle's lampshade? Yeah. Oh god, that was a stupid ass video. And then I was over sedated here. They over sedated me on this video. You should guys should watch it. It was funny. I was able to record it, but I was just over sedated. So watch that video if you can. Hello, this is the computer. Yeah, man. I mean, I was over sedated. So. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been the Planet Earth here. Thank you guys for watching.